praise. Goodness gracious. All right, man. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rachak double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom Barakatham. And I'll just title this Widespread Sorcery and Witchcraft is going to be an indicator that we're at the end. All right, now what you just saw was a compilation video of before and afters of makeup. And I bring that up because when you see makeup sounds like such a benign, innocuous thing, but when you layer it down, you start to see how big of a deal it is and how big of a sign it is that this place is about to be through. Because the number one thing that Esau has promoted in this society, not at his level, at the elite level, but down for the masses, is women. All right? He's created a culture of something called gynocentrism. Now, when you look that term up and you break it down, gyno means woman, and centrism means in the center or the middle of. So he's basically made everything centralized around women. You got something called genuflection, that's the whole genuflection is the whole concept of a man getting on one knee, getting the woman a big ring, spending 30, 40,000 on a white wedding dress, even though she's been ran through and not a virgin. All right. You spending up all the money. It's her day. And then you spend your life working, and this is called gynocentrism. Now, when you understand that this is how Esau set it up, that the women are at the forefront. Now you understand how do women take advantage the most of this gynocentrism. Well, the most valuable thing, and even a woman will tell you this, will be her looks. All right. The glory of a woman is in her hair. All right. And a woman is honored and respected by her beauty. And that beauty and that respect is retained through chastity. All right. If you're a beautiful woman and have good long hair, but you've been with the whole block, then you've given it away. But they flip that in this society even. You see? Now it's cool to be a whore. It's cool to dress like one. It's cool to have 10 bodies before you even leave high school. You see? It's in movies, it's in television shows, it's all over social media. And if you say anything about it, you're the problem. You're the most likely to get dealt with. All right? So they've even taken that away. But the most thing a woman has is her beauty, man. And how does she manipulate beauty? Makeup. Witchcraft. You see? But that makeup, it sounds innocuous, but you see when you layer it into all of these things, you see what's happening, man. And men know these women don't look like what they look like on Instagram. They know in the back of their head, they just don't give a damn because that sorcery is too strong. All right. And one thing the scriptures speak about is this place, Babylon the Great. It would be a hub of sorcery, a hub of witchcraft. All right. And it makes sense because this place has been so feminized. It's been turned into a gynocentric society. Everything is about the woman. It's for the woman. Your woman runs the relationship. They've got everybody to buy into this whole idea of 50-50 partnerships. I want a partner. You're co-everything. You're co-equal. You're co-parenting. All right. Coexist. There is no co, man. All right. There needs to be order established. But we all know that they're not going to listen to wisdom or reason in that regard. But I just typed in the word sorcery in the scriptures, man, and you'll see that it's never synonymous with anything good. It's always it's always used as a form of either deception or rebellion against the Most High. It's the use of a left-hand power that's not that's not the way of the Most High, but they still want the power. It's a rebellious spirit to be in. All right. Now you look down Isaiah 49, Salakia, Isaiah 47 goes heavy into it. You can see above Exodus, there was a time that Pharaoh had sorcerers, man. And when you look at these ancient Egyptians, man, even on the hieroglyphs and all of that, you can see they had the big winged eyelashes. Where do you think they get that from, man? The big winged eyelashes wearing in public, the heavy eyeshadow, that public makeup. That's an Egyptian thing, man. All right. But you see, they were heavy into it, man. In Exodus 7 and 11, it says the Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. Now, when you read the whole context of that, you'll see that it's basically they're trying to have a pissing contest with Moses, all right, who's demonstrating the power of the Most High. But they want to be the rebellious ones. Again, that's one of the key elements of it is rebellion, all right, because the Lord made you a certain way. These women, the Lord made you to look how you look, but you decide, no, I'm going to change the perception of how people see me. All right. And a lot of these things can just be taken care of just by taking care of your skin, taking care of your body, your teeth, everything, your hair, being in shape. A lot of these things, these women wouldn't actually be such a drastic drop down from what they look like on Instagram if they just took care of themselves naturally the way the Most High made it. But no, not only do they want to let themselves go, they still want to try to change and alter the way that the Most High made them, man. That's rebellious. The scriptures say has a thing that framed me. I'm on a butcher it, you know. But they want to look back to the Maker, the Most High, and dictate terms to Him. No, this is the right way to do things. Up is down, down is up. All right, it's a rebellious spirit. All right, and so the Lord through Satan will allow left-hand power and sorcery to go forth. But ultimately, what happens? His men, he will choose one of his men to demonstrate true power, man. All right, which is on the right-hand side. You see it in the matter of Moses. All right, you saw it in the matter of Elijah calling down fire from heaven. All right, you saw it in the case of the three holy children. You know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and every time either it's Pharaoh or Nebuchadnezzar or that wicked ruler in the time of Elijah, they all were confounded ultimately, man. All right. But and going down Isaiah 47, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood. Look at that. It's liking these sorceries to a feminine spirit. Now we know that there are men that are into it. We know that Esau, Edom, he's the men of this society. He's perpetuated. We know he's into sorcery. We know he's into witchcraft. We know the founders of America, the English. All right. What most of them was a sect. They were a branch of a Masonic brotherhood. Those are the founders of America. There was a bunch of Masons that branched off from the English and founded America. And then that's why you have all of this Egyptian idolatry in this place. You know, pyramids on money, pyramids and these their high holy places out throughout the DC area. You see, you got obelisks, all of these different things. The national The Washington Monument is an obelisk. All right. So now you see, sorcery, witchcraft, they go hand in hand, and it comes from Esau, Edom, but it's likened into a woman because America is likened as a woman, man. This place is also known in the book of Revelation as the whore of Babylon. It speaks about her in Revelation, the 17th chapter. All right. And because it's feminine, these women are the first ones to partake in it. And weak men are the first ones that fall victim to it. All right. It says, they shall come up on thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. All right. The multitude of them. It says, for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right. Enchantments are a thing, man. Nothing is what it seems. Every time you see an advertisement of anything, it's never what you get when you open the box or the bag or whatever it comes in. It always looks like a rundown version of it. They glow it up, and everybody knows this, but they keep buying the shit, thinking like it's going, But you can see it again in Isaiah 4:47-12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Why is it saying that? Because there's going to come a time where the Lord's going to let sorcery and witchcraft become an all-time high. That's why I say it's an indicator that this place is through. He's going to let it get to a ridiculous level. All right. What we just saw in that video was ridiculous. And when that time comes, he's going to judge. All right. It says, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail, man. And that goes heavily for Esau, man, because one major sorcery and witchcraft was convincing the whole world that he's a so-called white man, that we're so-called black. That's sorcery, man. That's witchcraft. That's brainwashing. All of the efforts of the Renaissance era, of the iconoclasms and the rewriting of history and the retelling of this is all a big, giant spell. The fact that white skin is somehow more desirable, and when you lack pigment, man, that's a mutation. That's not good. You resemble a cadaver, a dead person, with translucent skin, but the whole world will see a white guy and think, oh, what the fuck? There's an experiment they did. They showed a picture of a darker skinned man. I think he might have been Ishmael or Elam, but he had a full beard. And then they showed these pasty two white individuals, and it says, which one do you trust the most? They all chose the pale skinned, white, smooth face people. And they say, do you know who these people are? One dude was just he was actually a model with the dark skin and the beard. And the other two were images of Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, man. Now, what makes you trust them more? Sorcery, witchcraft. The true epitome of strength and masculinity lies within our people. That's darker skinned people with beards. All right. Some type of pigment. But see, even with us, the Israelites, the Lord gave us variation. You have really dark brothers, and then you have lighter skinned brothers. You see? But we're not pasty and pale and translucent and turn bright red in the sun. Anyway, I'm going off. So lock you on a tangent. Let's go down a little bit further here. But when it says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, that youth is the beginning of America, man. All right. And I usually get that in Daniel 7, where it says his look was more stout than his fellows. That look goes into that vision, that selling of the American dream. All right. You can come here and be free. We have a constitution. you'll get the right to vote and choose who rules over you. You'll get the right to own your own land and your own business, and you just all you got to do is pay some taxes and you're free. And every Edomite flocked over here. That's how America became great, because everybody rushed over here. And he enslaved us, and he took the land of our Northern Kingdom brothers. All right, all sorcery. That's like breaking into somebody's house and then inviting everybody over and throwing a big ass house party, man. It says, but draw near hither, ye sons of the sorceress, 57, the seed of the adulterer and the whore. All right, so you can see these things are synonymous with all types of unsavory acts like adultery and whoredom. All right. Let's see, we go down. Here's an example in Daniel 2, all right, of what sorcerers were back in the ancient kingdom. It says the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams. All right. So you can see the Chaldeans, who were the holy people of the Babylonians. They were their left hand wise men, be somewhat similar, comparable to who the Levites were for us. The Chaldeans, they were heavily into magic and astrology and sorcery. All right, they were like the wise elders, and they were supposed to be able to divine things out of the heavens and break down dreams and things of that nature. But this is another example. That left hand side, what did the Lord have to do? He had to give his servant Daniel, one of our forefathers, the prophet, a very great man, gave him the real breakdown of the dream. Despite him having a whole crew, I mean, their whole job, they're in the court of the king. Magicians that was a court position. You advised the king, you gave him information, you did all kind of things. Astrologers were the same thing. These were all positions in the king's court. A whole set of positions, and they couldn't break down the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, man. But Daniel did, through the power of the Most High. All right. It says in Malachi 3 and 5, it says, and I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers and against adulterers and against false swearers and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. All right. Now you can say it says a swift witness against the sorcerers. Now how is America going to be taken down swiftly? Is America not a giant sorcerer or place of sorcery? Are they not doing all of these things, oppressing the hireling and wages? Man, we struggling to make ends meet. You working 50, 60 hours a week, man. Still living paycheck to paycheck. You'll do that for 20, 30, 40 years. All right. And you've taken maybe 5 or 6 vacations the whole time. You look at your bank account and you're like, damn, I still got to keep working. People are working until they drop dead now, man. So is that not this guy? All right. And women play a major part in it, man. See, women are the things that they've set it up gynocentric. That's the thing that women are chasing, that men are chasing. What's causing all of these men to go to work and work all of these hours and buy money and spend, not buy money, but use money, buy shit, buy a bunch of bullshit? A lot of it is just behind women. There's no sustenance behind these people. They don't have any code. They're not willing to die for anything. Everything that they do is to feed themselves and try to get at some women, man. Because women have been made the center of everything. There's no higher power. There's no structure. There's no purpose. And so as long as that's true, Esau is going to continue to extract every ounce of your spirit out of you, man. A big rat race. And before you know it, you have no legacy, no children, no house, no nothing to show for everything that you've done. But the whole world believes America is the greatest country on the planet. That's the kicker right there. This is the greatest in the whole planet, and that's what your scenario is in, man. Another layer of witchcraft is he's convinced you that being comfortable, all right, when you have an apartment with air conditioning and all of these different things, he's convinced you that being comfortable is what's best for society, man. But what has that led to? A lot of people being fat, a lot of people being lazy. A lot of people can't do anything. If the power goes out, people are stuck. If the internet goes out for Generation Z, for Gen Z, they're through. You're going to have suicide rates go up heavy. Just let the Wi-Fi go out. Watch what happens. Because this is a generation, ever since they're 2 years old, they got a damn iPad in their hand. Everything they're learning is online. It's all through a screen. They're not going outside. They don't know east from west. You know, there's guys doing videos asking them basic questions, man. Like, how many dimes are in a dollar? They don't know. You know? When was the War of 1812 fought? Literally the year of the war is in there. They don't know. They don't know basic things, man. Why? Because you hand them an iPad, they're stuck. Their whole life is evolved around an internet connection. The Lord set this place up. That's a witchcraft. That's a sorcery right there, man. Is it not at an all-time high? Is this place not ripe for judgment, man? All right. It says, but there was a certain man. This is in the book of Acts, man. And we're getting back in the book of Acts because you're going to have men, when we get those spiritual powers, man, you're going to have men doing their own version of it, trying to make merchandise off of the right-hand power that the Lord gave us. When they've dedicated their lives to the left-hand power, they see they want to come by and be down. But the Lord ain't going to deal with that, all right? The verse is, this is Acts 8 and 9. It says, but there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria. Now, that proves right there that witchcraft is involved in deception, all right, on the left-hand side. All right. And it's rebellious because it's a power on the left-hand side. All right. It says giving out that himself was some great one. All right. So he basically made himself to be great among those people. When you read the story of Acts, everybody thought he was the man and everybody regarded him as this high man. And then Peter and the apostles came through. All right. And was laying hands on people and doing miracles. All right. And he completely got overshadowed and tried to buy the Holy Spirit. But really, he didn't want the Holy Spirit. He wanted the power that came with the Holy Spirit. And now a lot of people are going to come up and do the same thing. They're not going to care anything about the Most High. They're just going to want the ability to heal somebody. They're just going to want the ability to fly or teleport or whatever gift that brothers get. That's all they're going to want. They're not going to want anything to do with the spirit associated with it. They're not going to want anything to do with the Most High who gave that power. They're just going to want the power. And we're going to sniff you out immediately, man. We're going to know immediately. You know? And the same thing happened in Acts 13. There's a guy named Bar Jesus. All right. Another one, Elymas. Yeah. And you read Revelation 9. You see why the Lord's going to destroy this place. and how this is a marker of the end, because it says Revelation 9:21, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts. So the Lord is destroying this place. All right. He's hitting this place with nukes and missiles, and they're still not going to want to let go, man. That's how you know this place is ready to be sacrificed, man. America is a big fat lamb right now, being placed on the altar right now, ripe for judgment. Okay. And you can type in the word witchcrafts. Okay. First Samuel 15:23, it says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and adultery, man. All right. So a rebellious individual, he's tinkering around with witchcraft, because that's what witchcraft is. When you read these scriptures in Isaiah and other parts of the scriptures saying, I will be like the Most High, I will ascend to the heavens, and Obadiah, that's a statement of witchcraft. That's a left hand. Because how are you going to be like the Most High? It's through power. The Most High is all powerful, but it's not the power of the Most High. It's a left hand version of it. Now, all powers of the Most High, but it's not his chosen path of how you attain power. So how are you going to be like the Most High? You're going to be powerful on the left hand side. It's a statement of witchcraft, and that's rebellion. That's what Nimrod was on. You know, we're gonna make our own. We're gonna raise a tower to the heavens, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and a whole heap of witchcraft, sorceries, different idols, and other madness came out of that, man. All right, you see. Skipping down to 2 Kings 9:22, in the matter of Jezebel, it says, and it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu, all right, and Joram is the son of Jezebel, I believe. It says, and he answered Salakia, and it says, and it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu, that he said, is it peace, Jehu? He asking if it's peace, because I believe Jehu is either the prophet or the king at that time. I believe he's the prophet. Salakia, if I'm off on that, I'm just trying to give examples here. But he said, is it peace? And he answered, what peace? So long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. Now we know Jezebel was just a straight up witch. All right. Completely painted, fake, just like these women here. All right. Okay, so that was Jezebel. She was in that spirit. All right, and the scriptures speak about her fate. All right, basically the Lord let the dogs get at her. I'll just put it to you that way. That's what's coming to you women, man, here in America that subscribes to this. But I'm gonna close it out here. I didn't mean for this to be that long, but I just wanted to get the point across of what time it is. All right, and another sign, another marker that we're here. All right, and you go down to Micah 5:12. It says, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. All right, now a soothsayer is It's basically a guy that sells different herbs and chemicals and things of that nature. They're basically like the dealers. You know, you got companies like L'Oreal and Mac that sell makeup. Those would be a version of a soothsayer. Why? Because they sell a product that allows you to ensnare people in sorcery or witchcraft. All right, and it's not the only thing. All right, Photoshop. These are the modern day tools of the soothsayer that he's selling to people. All right, Instagram filters is another thing. But back in the day, they would usually be a person that sold like herbs and different things like that, because if you knew how to mix the herbs correctly, man, you could make some crazy, powerful drugs, man. All right. And that's what Esau is. That's what the pharmaceutical companies are. They're big soothsayers that don't fix the problems in your life, just numb the pain of your problems. And it'll go away. It's like, where's that in the scriptures? If you got problems, you have to face those problems, man, and deal with them. And if they start to become a heavy burden on you, you pray and you fast. You don't just sweep them under the rug, man. All right. And the main one here is Nahum 3:4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. We know this is alluding to the whore of Babylon in Revelation. All right. It says the mistress of witchcraft, just like I was speaking about earlier on America. Okay. That selleth the nations through her whoredom. She sold the nations. Everyone bought it, man. Everybody think they got, every woman thinks she has to have an Instagram or a Snapchat. If she's not on social media, she's not worth anything. All right. And how do you have families? Through women. That's who you have to go through to have a child in this society, man. This nonsense. A woman that thinks she has to be sexually presentable to everybody, regardless if she's married, all the time, even at work. Well, what does the way that you look have to do with your work ethic? But it's still there, you see. It says the mistress of witchcraft that selleth the nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. All right. So we're here, you know. I think the point has been made. So I'll end it there, man. Post any precepts you brothers have down in the comment section. Lord willing, this was edifying. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachak Wadashwa Abab Abal and Shalom.